Hi beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first video of me that you see. So today I would like to talk about minimalism, how it landed in my life, what I think about it, and how I hope to see it evolve in my life in the future. So to begin, I would like to give you a little backstory. I was born and raised in Africa. I came to Europe when I was 19. It's almost 18 years now, and from age 0 to 10, I had a very comfortable life with both my parents working. We really lacked nothing of anything that we would have needed then. But then my dad got sick when I was 12, or even when I was still 11. He was ill for a very long time until he passed when I was 13. And then my mom had to take care of everything on her own with 4 children and helping out the larger family. We had cousins and uncles or aunties living with us at the time. So we were living in a very small house, and we were about 10 people, I would say. And I quickly realized that it was not going to be easy for her or even for us to just have everything. We needed to grow up properly, and we did lack some of the things that I would have wanted to have when I was younger. So when we moved to Europe, my goal was to get access to anything I ever lacked. Therefore, I really worked hard, and then I went to school, and I promised myself to give my daughter everything that she would have needed. And I had a nice job, and I got married, bought a house, filled the house with so many things. The house became too small, and then we moved to a bigger house. The bigger house became even fuller, and I was never happy. I think at some point you just get to acquire things because you want to fit in, or because you want to just fill that void that you have somewhere in your life. It doesn't work. I really had the most of anything I would have wanted. I never put anything off. If I wanted a bag, I had the bag. If I wanted new shoes, designer shoes, I had those. Every year I just went on buying a better car, a bigger house. It's not fulfilling. For 15 years I lived like that. And when my divorce happened in 2019, we split things in half, which was the beginning of my journey towards minimalism, I would say. And this is the part that is called gradual minimalism. I think it's like scaling down on the things that you have. And I was really glad that I could divide everything in half and not have the need to replace all those things that my ex-husband went with. I just was happy with the things that I kept, but I was still very attached to those emotionally. And when I moved in with my new boyfriend, then I just made him understand that I was really happy to be downsizing. He did not like that term. I think he confused it with downgrading, which is absolutely the opposite of it, in my opinion, because when you get to downsize, you get to pick and choose and just keep the things that really mean something to you. And that's what I just did. So I was really happy to move into a new chapter with less things, smaller apartment. I never lived in an apartment before that, except for the very small house that I grew up in Africa. So I was glad to have a smaller space to live in, which was nice. But then I still wanted to have the best couch, the most expensive dresser, and it did happen. And I was still not fulfilled, and I just realized I was still attached to material things like I was before. Even though it was less, I was still clinging on to things. And when our relationship didn't work out, and when I had the opportunity when we ended things for good at the beginning of this year, the only thing I was thinking about was, okay, now I just leave everything there. I really start over, and with just my clothes or one or the other things that mean something to me. I did just that, almost left everything behind for no money at all, and I was really, really feeling so relieved. I don't think I have ever felt so happy or so free in my life, of getting rid of all the things that were weighing me down, and I felt like they were making me feel so stuck. So at the beginning of this year, I was living in a small apartment, and I had already started living in an apartment that is furnished. for me, that's the best thing one can do while starting out living a minimalist life. If it's not cheap, I would say, but it's the best way to start, because especially if you are a younger person, then it's even easier or better, because you don't have so much you have already collected in your life. You can start off by testing the minimalism part this way. And for me, I was in a much smaller apartment than this one, but I really already enjoyed the fact that if I wanted to move to Bali or go back to Africa for 6 months, I wouldn't have anything holding me back, which is what my life is right now. It's quite a kind of luxurious life, because not everyone has just the means to say, okay, I'll live for a few months and be back whenever. And as I said just before, it's not given. It's I guess it's 20%, 30% more expensive than a non-furnished apartment. But the thing is, you don't have to buy new furniture when you move in for the first time, and you have the freedom. For me, freedom is priceless. So I just had a few reads about minimalism, well, what kind of minimalism that exists and in which category I fall. As I said just before, mine was gradual first, as it started off by cutting half following the divorce, and then even step further saying, okay, I don't need this, so I will not have it. I don't know if I'm really a minimalist if I still have this kind of comfortable life that I live, as I already have everything furnished in this apartment. But I would say I am a minimalist because I don't own the stuff right here. So apart from the gradual type that I fall in, given how I got to discover minimalism, the second one for me is the practical. So the things I own, I have some items for workouts, just in case gyms close down again, and I have clothes. I have also cut in half the number of clothes that I own. The only thing I have in more than one copy, I would say, is white sneakers. I think I have 5 pairs of those, and the rest belongs to the apartment. I have 2 paintings that I'm a little bit attached to, and the rest of the things I really feel like I have been able to detach from that. So I am a gradual, practical, and aesthetic minimalist, because the apartment, I liked it because of the way it's decorated. This is really important for me, that I feel that it fits my style or the vibe that I want to give out right now in my life. Otherwise, if you live in an apartment that's already furnished and that doesn't fit your taste, you will never feel home. So the aesthetic part is very important for me. And the last part that I would say that is really important for myself as well is the cozy part. If you live in an apartment that's furnished by someone else and you don't feel so cozy, it's really difficult to feel home. So what I do to make my space cozier is I get some blankets just for myself, yes, and that I buy myself, and then some pillows, and of course pictures of my family, and some plants to also feel that there's life in this space, and that's just about it. So to be very brief, if you want to be a minimalist, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. Do I need this? Do I use this? And do I love this? They don't have all to be on the same item, but if you need something, for example, for me, I would say I need a bed, so I live in a space where there will be a bed. And the second part is, do I use this? If you have 10 plates and you live alone and you're sure 100% certain that you will not be hosting dinners with 10 people, it doesn't really make sense that you have 10 plates. You would maybe need to have just 4 in case you have a few guests coming over, or you just have replacement plates when you haven't done your dishes. But as a minimalist also, you tend to be cleaning more often because it's easier and you have less clutter in general anyway, so that's also nice. The love part is the things that you will be emotionally attached to. I tend to think that we get attached to clothes and the things we acquire because we know how much we paid for them. And those things in general, we get to buy them because we want to fit in, because we want to be like everyone else. But think about it, if you really want to take this journey of minimalism, you go out there, when you want to buy something, you really are more intentional with it, and you just already see yourself wearing it and taking care of it and making sure this is the thing that you really want to have in your space, because it takes space, it takes money, and it takes also time. If you have 10 different styles every day that you have to pick on, and depending on your mood and you're not sure, you are wasting time. If you go minimalist, if you start your journey as a minimalist, I don't know how to say this, you will be saving time, saving money, and just clearing out your brain, because you have also, in addition to no visual clutter, you have no mental clutter. It gets clearer and clearer, and your choices become more thought about, and it's everything just follows up. Like even making friends, you will have friends, or let's say colleagues, that you need them, they need you, you work together, you make your choices according to that. But if some colleagues don't need you, you don't need them, they're not your friends, you don't love them, there's no need to keep contact with such people. And also there's the part where you say, okay, do I teach this person, do I help this person grow, is this person helping me grow, or is this person making me feel stuck, am I feeling this person stuck? Also, it's good to move on from there. And same for relationships, but I would say in love or friendships, the more you have, the less time you will invest in each and every one of them. So you will create more and more meaningless relationships, which doesn't really make sense, because I think quality over quantity has always won the race. And yeah, that's minimalist for me. Minimalism is centering your thoughts and making your choices according to what you really need and what you will use and what you really feel that you appreciate. I think it's if you think it's not the right way of going minimalist, just let me know. If you have another practice as a minimalist, also I'm here to listen to your experience, and I would love to read you guys. Thank you and take care. See you next time. Bye bye.